Hey guys, welcome to She Knows Arsenal. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let me make sure everything is set up. Yep. You guys should be able to see me and hear me and also see the lineup to my right. The lineup is up. We're going to react to it now. Arsenal play Newcastle at St. James today in just about an hour. So we have loads to talk about. So make sure you guys get into the chat. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. This show is going to lead you straight to player ratings. So you guys don't have to go anywhere. As soon as this ends, it'll redirect you straight to the player ratings. So remember that. And yeah, hopefully we get to talk about a win. I don't know what to say about the lineup, you guys. I really don't. I mean, I'm looking at it. And before the lineup came out, I was not confident at all. I think when you have a really poor performance before a big game, it naturally shifts your whole thought process on the game coming up. That West Ham game for me was just so like, we've seen too many performances like that in a close period of time. We had Chelsea where we were horrendous and then had to try to come back, but we couldn't kick a ball to each other. Then 2-3 games later, same thing. And so seeing those two performances so quickly, like one after another, has really damaged my confidence for this game because it's going to be it's away from home. It's against a difficult side that's in very good form. We're not in great form, or our individual players are not in that good of form. And to see this lineup is like, oh, just wish we could have gotten a boost from anyone. It would be nice to go into any game this season with our strongest 11. We have still yet to see any semblance of our best 11. Thomas Partey, I don't think, has played a single game with Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus has barely played any games this season. No Odegaard now. He's out. So as soon as Saka and Martinelli are back in, Odegaard is out. It's just constant players out. And so we're not able to gain any sort of like consistency, any sort of form. We talked about it yesterday. I said we have probably about 3 players in form right now. And the majority of our players that are in decent form are actually at the back. Like our attack is not attacking. And so I'm worried about today. I am worried about today. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. But Raya at the back, no surprise there. White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu. Arteta had enough sense not to go with the double whammy of Zinchenko and Jorginho. He went smart and had Tomiyasu back there. Rice, Jorginho, and Havertz. Jorginho is captaining the side. Whatever. He was good against Newcastle the last time around, but I do remember that I think that was a very results-based analysis around that game. We were in the run-in. We desperately needed that win, and we got it, and we deserved it because we scored more goals than Newcastle. But Newcastle missed quite a few sitters. I remember Ramsdale made quite a few saves, and off the ball, Jorginho was not great. But on the ball, he was amazing. So I expect him to be great on the ball, but I expect his frailties off the ball to be something that Newcastle tried to exploit. So Rice will be obviously playing in this pseudo 8 role and then dropping into next to Jorginho out of possession. Havertz and the right center mid. I don't even know what to say. I mean, it is what it is. I think a lot of people would have just preferred Havertz to go up front and maybe Vieira playing in the right center mid or something like that. But Arteta just, I don't know. He loves Eddie so much that he's like, I have to have Eddie out there. So Havertz is going to play right mid or whatever. So we'll see how that works. But Havertz needs to have a big game. He cannot just ghost throughout this entire game. He needs to make his presence known at this stage in the season. We're a quarter through now, and you've played a lot of minutes, albeit not in the same position every single time, but there needs to be a light bulb moment for him. There needs to be a moment where he snaps out of this malaise and just decides that he wants to play well for Arsenal. I know it's not that easy, but it's time to start to click, like at some stage. He's getting enough playing time where we should expect the performance level to be going up, not staying the same. I've yet to see a performance where I'm like, ooh, that is promising. I need to see a promising performance from Kai Havertz today. Saka, Martinelli, it's going to be a carry job for them today. And Kedia hasn't scored in an away game in like 17 matches. So I don't expect much from Nketiah today, but a lot of running around maybe. So, Saka and Martinelli are going to have to do a lot of the work. Ramsdale on the bench, Hine also on the bench. We have 2 goalkeepers. Cedric is on the bench. Kivior is there, Zinchenko, El Neni, Vieira, Nelson, Trossard. So beyond Trossard, there's not a lot off the bench that can change the game. Vieira maybe can do a little bit of something, but again, not having Jesus, not having Partey, not having Odegaard, we're really back into like pre-Manchester City injury issues, not being able to see like what we're trying to do. Like it is what it is. I want to be positive. I really want to believe that we can get something out of this game, but it's not even just like the players out there on the pitch. Our form is just not that great individually. We don't have a single attacking player in good form. Saka and Martinelli are always going to be good because they're just naturally good, but we know when they're in form, they're so much better than what they are right now. So it's just, I don't know. I really want to be excited, but this lineup is not giving me any vibes whatsoever. Dre says, what is the starting lineup? No. DJ Polar says Cedric will outlive us all. Hadil says Havertz is toxic. Amir says out of possession, Havertz right center mid in possession 4-4-2. Eddie and Havertz up top. I mean, even if it is 4-4-2, in possession, do you think Eddie or Havertz can score a goal? Like, they're probably like our least potent attackers so far this season. Trossard would probably be a better option. He'd score more goals. He scores goals. He gets assists and scores. He puts the ball in the back of the net. We've put 2 players up top that, again, they're going to struggle, so whatever. Like, I really don't. I just want to not get battered. Like, Charlie says we are getting smacked. Lady says, I think it'll be a 4-2-3-1 today. I mean, that's the only, at some stage, we need to drop into a 4-2-3-1. There's no reason to have a 4-3-3 with Jorginho in your team. It just doesn't work. You need to have somebody holding his hand 24/7 to make sure that he doesn't get ran over. And so you have to play Rice and Jorginho next to each other and allow your number 10 to have creative freedom. Allow your front 4 to have creative freedom. You have Tomiyasu back there, Saliba, Gabriel, and White, and then you have 2 DMs. You should allow your front 4 to have some level of freedom. But what we'll do is we'll play this weird 4-3-3 where Jorginho is getting ran over. There's gaps in midfield, and Rice is in this weird role that suits him in some ways because he's such a good player and he makes it work. But I'd prefer my creative midfielder, my number 10, to be the one creating chances, not my DM. Our creative midfielders are not the ones ever responsible for creating chances. It's somebody else. It's our left back. It's our DM. I just prefer to play like a simple system that allows our number 10s, because we have so many number 10s just to do what they do best. We're not going to have any creativity. Aman says, where's the creativity going to come from? Looks like we're going to rely on our wingers. It's never easy for them. Our wingers have to create for themselves. They have to defend like fullbacks, and they have to score all the goals, because there's no creativity coming from our center forward, and our 8s don't have any creativity in them. And that is not on Declan Rice whatsoever. He's being asked to play a role that is not his role, and Kai Havertz is being asked to do something that up to this level, like he hasn't been able to do. So I don't know why Arteta thinks this is going to work, but, we don't, like, if you just say Saka and Martinelli do it, like, Newcastle are good enough of a side to double team our wingers and leave Nketiah free because they know he's not going to do anything. So what do we expect at this stage? Like, if it's going to be Rice, like, pushing us forward, trying to get goals from DM, like, it's so obvious that we're going to struggle today. And some of it is about, not having your better players, which is unfortunate. But some of this is by design, because these are players that Arteta has backed, given new contracts to, and signed. So, yeah. Aman says, no creativity whatsoever. Our wingers are going to have to do the heavy lifting again. Here to there says, spot on. No creative freedom allowed for our front players. It makes no sense. Only Zinni is allowed freedom. Let's see. Owen says, what does Arteta have against the academy? Why name 2 keepers? If you're short, it's a good opportunity to put one on the bench. He just does not. do it. Like, he'd rather have a goalkeeper and Cedric on the bench rather than an academy kid. I don't know. He just doesn't do it. Samuel says, "I'm watching City make quick work of Bournemouth and flexing their depth while we're here worried about Havertz and Jorginho starting. Man, I hate this feeling." And yeah, I mean, that's what a really bad result will do to you. I think the West Ham result, if we go through and we play well, we don't have this like dark feeling ahead of a big game. But Newcastle are like one of the most informed teams in the league right now. And they may not play the best football, but they play very simple, effective, attacking football. And so they're going to create chances. And are we going to have the ability to break them down? I don't know. They have really good individual defenders. They have a good system back there. They have a decent goalkeeper and they have legs, and we don't. We don't have the legs. We have Rice in there that's going to have to be doing so much heavy lifting. And if I'm Newcastle, I'm sitting right on top of Declan Rice, letting him pass the ball to Jorginho, jumping on top of him and going straight down the gut. That's what I'm doing because it's just so obvious, and it's not like Havertz is going to be able to offer anything. He's going to be wall passing it back to Ben White because he's not going to turn and go and make himself a nuisance. So it's hard when you're going to have like several passengers out there, and it's harsh to call Eddie and Havertz passengers, but that's what they tend to be in games like this. We tend to have like 4 or 5 players that have to do a lot of heavy lifting for us to get over the line. And so it'd be so nice if we had 2 really great players in there instead of 2 guys that it's kind of like, okay, what are we doing? I don't know. Christopher says Odegaard is injured. This will be a tough game. Rice needs to have a game of his life. I'm tired of asking Rice as a DM to have the game of his life. It's our DM should be cleaning up, mopping up, getting the ball to our attacking players. We're asking somebody whose best role is that to be our beacon of hope, creatively, goal scoring, attacking, assists. And of course, you want Rice's game to develop and for him to have those tools in his toolbox. But we're asking for trouble. When you ask players to do multiple roles on a consistent basis, eventually you ask too much. And so I'm worried for like Rice and Saka and players like this because they have to continuously do way more than like, is Doku being asked to do the same things that Saka is being asked to do? No, he's just asked to cook. He's just cook your fullback, score goals, get the ball in the box. Like, he's not being asked to play right back, play right center mid, play number 10, do all the shit. So you can't have passengers in your side. And so it's just you have to expect Havertz to wake up at some stage. Like, I don't think it's that easy to just like get over 3 years of being basically on ice and basically frozen over time. Have you guys seen like, you know, um, movies where there's somebody that's been frozen over time for like a long time, and like that's how like Havertz is. Like, it's almost like he's just been there going through the motions for 3 seasons. And so now he's coming to Arsenal. We're we're not happy with the signing, and he just can't click. Like, he can't get it going. It's up to Arteta to make this player work. Right center mid is his better position in midfield, so hopefully that helps him out. But man, like, it's it's just I need him to start looking like a player at some stage, just a promising performance. Like, I'm not even asking for peak Havertz at Leverkusen. I'm just asking for a level up from what we've seen for the first quarter. Eddie, again, he is what he is. Like, he's not the type of player that's going to really scare the opposition. So we know what it's going to be like. Cedric says, these injuries are really getting annoying. We're lucky to get away with a draw with this one. DJ Polar says, yeah, Mariah Carey every time the holidays come around. Otherwise, she'd be frozen off. Mark says, let's see how we start before we make assumptions. This will be a tough game as it is without worrying before kickoff. I mean, yeah, you have to see how things go. I don't know if it's going to be as bad as it feels like it's going to be. It would just be nice to go into a game feeling confident. against a bigger team. So far, every big game that we've went into, except for maybe Man United at home, I've been like very worried, because I don't know, there's just like this big thing, like this big red flashing thing that's like, we didn't recruit properly. We didn't recruit properly. This could be tough, So yeah, I want it to work and I want us to come out there and really try to win it. We need a big performance. Like, I'm sorry, midweek was a joke. It was horrendous. Like, it's not anything that I feel like the players should feel like they can just sweep under the rug without having to perform much better. And some of the players playing today played against West Ham. Not all of them, but a lot of them did. Jorginho played against West Ham. Havertz played against West Ham. Nketiah played against West Ham. White and Gabrielle played against West Ham. So I'm expecting them to feel like they need to do a lot better today. Garo says this is a game. This is a game where if Newcastle make mistakes, we have to capitalize on them, banking on our defense to be super solid. Rep 187 says, don't we have anyone else to fill the bench other than Hein? We could bring in academy players, but we just don't. So yeah, Tulane says, come on, put respect on Eddie's name. I mean, we gave him the props that he deserved when he scored the hat trick, but again, like, he scores at home, but he doesn't score away from home. So, I can only give him so much. I can hope that he's going to do a lot better, but he tends to go missing away from home. So hope he scores, hope he does well, but who knows? Mdu says Kai will score the winner. Hopefully. Let's see. Charlie Stock says, if you let the game raise your blood pressure, you're begging for a heart attack because this is solely on Arteta's head. DJ Polar says Brentford is currently cooking West Ham. This is mental. West Ham, they're not that great. They're a good, dangerous side if you allow them to be, but I'm not surprised that, a game after they play us, they kind of go back to normal. They have really good players and like Kudus and Bowen, like those players are very good, but we were really, really crap against them. Like, it has to be said. Boy says 2 goalkeepers on the bench, effing Cedric, effing El Neni. Give me any academy kid on the bench instead of effing Cedric and El Neni for F's sake. Errol says, worried to tell you the truth, Jess, Jorginho captain. I have not forgotten the silly mistakes against Spurs. Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's captaining the side as well, like, he's supposed to be just like a squad player, but his importance and his influence on this team is so big, and Arteta really likes him. But Arteta tends to like players like this. He likes players that have this great big football brain, but they don't have legs, they don't have the athleticism, they don't have any of the other stuff. And so Arteta's, love for players that do well on the ball but are really poor off the ball tends to kind of be a theme. Declan Rice is the first player from from midfield forward that he's purchased that has been like, okay, you get it. Like, in the Premier League, you need to be able to compete. But like Jorginho, Vieira, who I love, Havertz, to play in midfield. It's like, at some stage, I would love for you to just bring in players that we know can play in the Premier League, and are not going to get ran over. So whatever. Aman says Vieira would have made sense to play ahead of Kai. We already have the 4 CBs plus double pivot. Vieira would have been our creator supply for our forwards. What does this tell you, though? What does this lineup tell you guys? What does it tell you? Does it tell you, like, I feel like the lineup choice tells you a lot. What does it tell you? When you look at this lineup, you see 4 center backs, you see Jorginho, you see 2 DMs, you see a player that has largely been only good off the ball in Kai Havertz, and you see Eddie, somebody that runs around a lot. What does that tell you? What do you think Arteta's trying to do in this game? Do you think he's trying to win it? Or do you think he's maybe going for a draw? What do you guys think? Because this is not the type of lineup that's going to give Newcastle any sort of problems. It's not attacking wise, so we're going in with 4 CBs, 2 DMs, a guy that can only really do things off the ball, and Eddie. We have 2 attacking players on the pitch. in Saka and Martinelli, and they will be playing a lot of fullback today. So it just, come on now, like Arteta's going for like a draw or to keep it tight or whatever. It's he's playing it really safe. So there you go. Christopher says, sitting deep and hopeful on the counter. Charlie says, tells me he doesn't want to win a trophy this year. Sack him. SK says, Arteta likes players who have the same qualities, which he had as the player. Arteta wasn't quick. You know what I mean? Yeah, he wasn't. I never, people know this. I didn't rate Arteta very much. So he was somebody that I was like, oh my God, this guy's playing DM. Like, of course, like he was the best option out of the group that we had, but I just prefer to bring, like, I like players that can actually like run, jump, kick, win the ball back, things like that. You can have a football brain and also be good off the ball. You know what I mean? You can do both, but we tend to go for like one or the other. Jorginho is very much a player that's on the ball. So we'll see how it goes. Ben says Arteta must feel like he has to justify the $64 million spend on Havertz. He has to keep playing him and make him into the player that he said he was going to be, or what this whole thing was about. Like, he has to. Like, ditching it at this stage would be so problematic for me personally, because you had all the opportunities and players available. Like, we finished second last season. We were one of the most promising young, projects out there. So you have to strike while the iron is hot, which is why we got Declan Rice, which is amazing. We don't get him if we finish poorly this season. You don't get a Declan Rice. Do you know what I mean? So you have to strike while the iron is hot. You had any player probably on the planet. I mean, remember, Edu sat there and said that the phone is ringing off the hook. All these great players want to play for us. So that's great. You strike while the iron is hot. You have 65 million to spend, and you chose to spend it on Kai Havertz. So no, personally, I'm not going to accept this whole like shuffling into center forward minutes and trying to make it seem like that's what we bought him for. Arteta bought him to play in midfield. So he needs to figure out a way to make him into this dynamic number 10, number 8 that's going to take us to the next level, like they said that he was. And you need to keep playing him and make him into that player. I need to see your coaching come forward, because otherwise I think Arteta needs to have a lot less power in signings, because one signing can really sink you badly. We know we needed to replace Granit Xhaka properly, and we didn't do it. So, and that could be the difference between Arsenal winning things and not. So if they ditch it now, Arteta cannot have carte blanche in every single transfer window to just flex his galaxy brain and bring in players that we don't need. So he needs to make him into the player that they pretended like he was going to be. I won't accept him just getting these like little center forward minutes, because you just wasted 65 million. We didn't need that. Kai Havertz is not looking like he's going to score goals. Like, even at center forward, he's just laying the ball off. He doesn't look like a dynamic forward that's going to score a goal. He looks like a guy that you can stick up front and hold the ball up. That's not good enough either. Let's look at Newcastle's lineup. By the way, Newcastle's lineup doesn't matter. They're strangely the type of team that can rotate almost their entire team out and still play at a decent level. So, Pope, Trippier, Lascelles, Burn, Bruno Guimaraes, Longstaff and Joe Linton, Almiron, Gordon and Wilson. So that's, it's a strong lineup. To me, they can bring on Willock later if they want. That seems like the main player that I'm looking at off the bench that I feel like could change the game for them. No Isak, no Barnes, none of these players, but it doesn't matter. Like, Wilson is scoring loads of goals, albeit he hasn't scored in his last 9 appearances against Arsenal, but that doesn't matter. Gordon, he's a decent player. Like, he's playing well this season. Almiron, we know what he's all about, flopping, creating situations 1v1, running into channels. We know what Almiron's about. He's been around long enough. Joe Linton, Longstaff, and Bruno, a very hard-working midfield. So if our midfield is not working hard, they're going to get effed up. And then you have Burn. That's the only thing that really stands out to me is Dan Burn. Saka tends to struggle a little bit more against the fullbacks that are more center backy than like standard fullbacks. So, Dan Burn had his number the last time that we played against them at the Emirates. I remember like Saka couldn't get beyond him. So, Dan Burn is like a weird player that tends not to get called for like fouls that everybody else would get called for. So when Saka tries to create separation, if he can't, like, Burn tends to be able to get like the leg out and like, and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting if Saka can get beyond him this time. We know Trippier is a top player, so Saka's going to not Saka, Martinelli's going to have a hard day out. And so if we think we're just going to be able to stick Saka and Martinelli on the wings, then they're just going to be able to do things by themselves. They're not going to. So it's that I didn't even really, they could have put anybody out there. Newcastle can rotate and have players out with injuries and still play at a decent level. So whatever. Andrew says the state of our bench is pathetic. Why 2 goalkeepers? Is he going to sub Ray at halftime? Whatever. Bro says we will get pammed. I got a feeling. Reckland Dice says he had to put that midfield. There are no better options in the bench. People need to relax. This nervous energy makes it feel like we're in April. Relax. It's a long season. I think people have a right to feel this way, though. I feel like when you've had poor performances this season already, no matter if it's your best lineup or your rotational lineup, it's going to breed anxiety. We haven't really found a solution for midfield. We haven't really found a solution for the attack. I showed you guys the graph yesterday about how we cannot attack through the middle. And so I don't blame Arsenal fans for having anxiety going into this game. Like, I really don't. Nobody would have wanted to see this midfield. They wouldn't have, and saying that this was the only option is not true. You could have played Vieira on the right instead of Kai Havertz, and Kai Havertz has done nothing at this stage to really validate this like better option in a creative position. Now, Arteta may have just decided, I don't want to be creative. I just want to sit in and defend. If it doesn't work, then he got it wrong. So for me personally, like, the idea that this is like the only thing that we could have done doesn't wash. It really doesn't. But fair enough. I think people have anxiety because we haven't really performed to the level that we feel like we should so far. And even though it's a long season, we don't want to start losing these big games. And, when these could be the difference between winning something or not. So I get it. I get it. Let's see. Ben says, Jess, you say if you say that Arteta has to keep playing Havertz in midfield, why are you upset when you see him there? It's not so much that I'm upset when I see him there. It's what I'm upset by is I don't see any difference in his performances. I can understand people not wanting to see him there. It's not a midfield that I would have chosen. Like, if I had to choose anybody, I would not have chose him. But what I need from Arteta is, despite Arsenal fans not wanting to see Havertz in midfield and feeling like that is failing and it's flopped, Arteta needs to have conviction in his ideas. So it's not good enough just to put him out there and for him to keep dropping these really poor performances. Like, at some stage, Arteta needs to coach him into this player. So of course, I'd rather have anybody else in that midfield. I'd rather have Vieira probably, or Trossard out there, or Zinchenko, just to see something different. But it's up to Arteta to make that signing work. So I think it's pretty clear, like, what I'm trying to say. It's not good enough for Arteta just to put him out there and just to be like, yeah, well, I'm putting him out there, so make it work. Make it work, Of course, I'm not excited about seeing him in midfield. Arteta hasn't made him into a good midfielder yet. So, yeah, it's up to Arteta to get that right. He hasn't had a good midfield performance yet. And he's been playing in that position pretty consistently for a quarter of the season. So yeah, Philip says, imagine how negative the sentiment would be if we weren't undefeated. If we lose, I'll be negative, but until then, I'm gonna back the lads. I don't think people, I think people understand that we're undefeated, and that's great, but it's not. Have we had a single performance where we played extremely well? Like, have we had a single performance where you could say, you know what, that was amazing. Like, we really looked the part. We haven't. Like, we haven't. We've worked hard and gotten good results, but the performances haven't been consistently good. Or we haven't even, like, I can't even name one where I'm like, that was outstanding. Maybe PSV. Bournemouth wasn't even that good. So I get why people are nervous, because anybody with eyes can see that Arsenal are getting results, which is what good teams do. But that's going to run out at some point. At some point, your players need to come into form. Your attackers need to start looking like they're going to score loads of goals. Your midfield has to be balanced. And so, you know, it's, yeah, of course, like, the fan base is stressed out. And again, the stress comes from people knowing that we missed a really good opportunity last season and not feeling as confident that we'll get the same opportunity this season. So everything, no matter what it is, seems like a big deal. And that's what happens when people pretend like they're not upset about things, when we all know last season was a real big disappointment. It's going to be hard to let it go. So that's, I don't really, anybody that thought we were going to go into the season without like mounds of pressure, have the players look like they don't have big rocks on their shoulders this season. They don't look loose. They don't look like they're having fun. They don't look like they're playing with freedom. Everybody is stressed the fuck out. So if the players look like it and the manager doesn't look like he has the ideas, then why would the fan base not have it? So Here to There says, I back the lads, but I don't back Arteta making questionable decisions as we continue to rely on individual brilliance to skate by. Namesmith says, Trossard not getting playing time. How can he gel with the team? I don't know. He's only good off the bench, apparently. So um, I think Trossard doesn't play because he's an attack-minded player and likes freedom and creativity. And Arteta's picked a lineup today that says, I don't want to concede. So Trossard's never going to really play, not consistently, because I don't think Arteta thinks that he's reliable defensively. And sometimes creative players are not reliable defensively. A lot of creative players, like forwards and tens, are not great defensively. So you either have to set up the team where their defensive limitations don't hurt you, or you don't play them. And so Arteta chooses not to play the likes of Trossard. He doesn't play Vieira that much. ESR. He chooses guys that are going to sit in that block, which I get it. So let's see. Bammy says Zinchenko should be playing in midfield ahead of Kai. Martinelli should be playing up front, and Trossard out left. That would have been fire and more fluid. Recklin Dice is saying, this is making my blood boil. Did Jess just say that the manager doesn't look like he has any ideas? Are we living in an alternate universe? Yeah, he doesn't look like, does he look like he has the answers to our lack of midfield, balance? Does he look like he has the ideas for the lack of access to central spaces? Does he look like he has the answers to us scoring loads of goals, our non-penalty XG? Like, does he look like he has the answers to that? Like, it's not an alternative universe. We're not playing horrendously. We're not the worst team in the world. That's not what I'm saying. People, all they're hearing is, we've been the worst team in the league. We're so bad. That's not what I'm saying. But to pretend as though we haven't been quite blunt in the attack is like very strange when the numbers don't lie. Like, we're not really finding an answer to the midfield. We're not really finding an answer to the attack. And it's very much so based on whether or not Saka saves us, whether or not Declan Rice saves us, whether or not we get a penalty or, a corner or something like that. The only team that we've battered this season from open play really has been Sheffield, and they have 1 point this season. So I don't know if, like, it's just not that deep. Like, we've been okay. We've been getting results, which is what good teams do. But at some stage, we need to start clicking. And Arteta doesn't seem to have the answers because it's been a problem since the beginning of the season, and we're a quarter of the way through, and we haven't improved. So defensively, we've been great. Defensively, we've been outstanding, really. But the rest of it, it's yet to be seen. I don't know why that's such a big deal to say. We're a good team, but we haven't been great. So I don't know. Dennis says the worst thing you can show this Newcastle is lack of energy. Starting Havertz against this team places everyone in that midfield and defense into Newcastle's hands. I think the one thing that we all know is that, like, if we don't compete, like if we play like we did against Lens, if we played against like how we played against Chelsea, if we play like the way that we played against West Ham, where it was more the fact that we didn't compete like more than anything, then yeah, we're not going to get anything out of the game. Newcastle tend to have bundles of energy throughout the whole 90 minutes. So Arsenal need to match their intensity. If they're not up for it, then they're not going to get anything out of it. Jason says, if we get a penalty or a corner, that's from working hard in the good areas and being a threat, though, right? We also have missed a lot of big chances. If we're going to be more clinical, score more goals. I'm not saying that penalties and corners don't count, but anybody that's pretending like scoring goals from open play and creating like non-penalty, like if your non-penalty XG is not great, even if you're finding other ways to score, which is great. Like I'm not saying that we didn't deserve those penalties and we didn't make our own luck. Eventually that has to improve. And so pretending it doesn't because we want to pretend like everything is fine is stupid to me. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like at some stage, we need to create more chances. The better teams that are scoring more goals, creating more chances will pull away from us at some stage, you know? So we do make our own luck and we deserve those penalties. They were all stonewallers. We deserve to score off the corners because we work so hard on our corner routines. But if you were looking at Arsenal right now and it was not Arsenal and it was one of our rivals, what would you be saying? They're going to run out of luck at a certain point. They're not scoring a lot of goals from open play. And so, you know, they need to improve upon that. So, but because it's our team and we want to live in a la la land, like it's saying like, oh, it's like you're just being extreme. I'm not. We're a good team, but we have not been great. We've been getting results, you know, and that's fine. But at some stage, we need to improve upon that. And Arteta needs to find the answers. And so far, he has not been able to figure out how not to just rely upon Zinchenko for our progression through the midfield. That's all, you know. Brian says this coach hasn't learned from West Ham. We need legs against physical midfields. Joe Linton and Bruno will destroy Havertz in J20. Saksham says Jorginho joke. I expected Jorginho to play today, and I expected Rice to play today. I was hoping that Odegaard would play, but you know, Havertz is definitely the choice that he's gone with for the off the ball, so that we can sit in and I think kind of like protect ourselves a little bit. It's just how does he expect us to create chances? Because the only way that you're gonna be able to hurt Newcastle is if they feel like they need to defend us. And it'll be easy to shut Martinelli and Saka out of this game because they don't have to mark anybody centrally because Nketiah is not going to offer any threat. So I just wonder where that additional attacker is going to come from because Havertz hasn't really shown himself to be a reliable attacking option. So it's a tough one. You know, I think, yeah, Arteta's limited on his options. But let's see if this is the answer. Since we feel like Arteta has the answers, let's see if this is the answer. Doesn't feel like it, but here we go. You know, Jay says we're going to lose this 2-0. I have a feeling we'll get run over. Saksham says weak ass midfield. Bro Pro says Arsenal really here makes us scared of Jorlinton. Zach 10 says we don't have to look great, but we do have to be competent to stay high level. Kai Havertz is incompetent. Yeah, I mean, again, like you don't have to win every single game with beautiful football 4-0, 3-0, whatever. But we've made hard work of some games that we shouldn't have. And as an attacking team, we haven't really clicked and we don't build up through the thirds centrally at all. So I don't know why people are pretending like that's extreme when, I mean, is it extreme? Like, what are you guys saying? Like, is it not extreme? Like, how is this extreme, you guys? Like, seriously, we're at the bottom of this list. Like, I don't really understand what people are saying. We're at the bottom of this list. Like, the better attacking sides that are all towards the top attack through the middle. We attack on the right. So, and our non-penalty XG is not great. And so I'm not really understanding like why people are acting like it's just like negativity when it's just the truth. We've been all right. Like we've been a good team, one of the best in the league, but we're talking about a team that wants to win titles here, not a team that wants to finish in the top 4. Amon says at least we didn't start Jorginho and Zinni together. Joe, I was so happy not to see Zinchenko out there because I knew Jorginho would start because we don't have any other choice but to start him. You know, no Partey. And going with 2 lightweight 8s was never going to work, right? So I think that, you know, you just have to not do the Zinni thing. He played like he played he didn't play almost the entire game. He got hooked, right? Zinchenko, but he was poor against West Ham. So it is what it is. Jorginho, hopefully we have enough around him to keep him from getting exposed. But, you know, um, it's all about whether or not Arsenal want to compete today. I think that's so important. Arsenal have to decide that they want to win the game and compete. If they go out there scared of the rain, scared of the environment, can't kick the ball to each other, then they won't win. That it's just that simple. Kabui says, thank you so much for your super chat. Says, seen enough to say Tommy Zinni can play midfield. Arteta's never going to play Zinchenko in midfield. I would put money on that. I just don't think that Pep didn't do it, that often. So Arteta's like, I'm not going to do it. Maybe they've seen something in training. Whatever, is it physicality? We play Vieira in midfield. So it's not like any of the eights that we've bought are, are physical monsters. They're all lightweight. So that doesn't really make sense to me. People are saying the spatial awareness and, he's better arriving into spaces. I mean, this is somebody that, you know, like Arsene really wanted and Pep bought to play in midfield. So the idea that this player has no like footballing IQ, has no spatial awareness, can't figure out how to operate in midfield when he plays there for his country is a little far-fetched for me, but he's never going to play there. He's been bought to play in this inverted role. And so if he doesn't play there, he will not play. It's just that simple. I think like wanting it is not going to happen, but maybe one day, but I doubt it. Saksham says Havertz was our best player last game. I still hate that we signed him. He was good for about 15 minutes. After that, he just faded so badly. Like I did the watch along and ooh, Sheffield, did you guys score? No. Ooh. Ooh, that was a nice goal from Cameron Archer. That was really nice. Screamer. Did Wolves come back? Yeah, they scored. So, yeah, he was good for about 15 minutes, you guys. It was a very low bar for him to be one of our better players yesterday or against West Ham. Fred says, as an Arsenal fan, I never know what to expect from this team. I think that's probably the best point is this season we don't know what team is going to show up. Is it going to be the team that played against Fulham? Is it going to be the team that played against Man City? Is it going to be the team that showed up against Chelsea? Is it going to be the team that showed up against Sevilla? We don't know. Our performances have been so inconsistent. So to be nervous is just not like we were so consistent last season, at least for the beginning, that almost expected to win every single game and we knew what we were going to get. Even against Manchester United, we played the same way. We just didn't get the result. That was it. This season, I don't know who's about to show up. I don't. I really don't. Nuances of Fate says, hey, Jess, I'd rather Trossard over Havertz in the 10-8, but what do I know? He's never going to play in midfield. Ivy says, all I see here is a team going for a draw. It seems Rice is playing in an advanced role and Jorginho will be on his own in midfield. It's going to be a very tough game. It is going to be a tough game. I think it was always going to be a tough game. Like it's Newcastle away from home. I think we just would have wanted to see some of our better players available to us in Odegaard and Jesus and Partey, maybe even Emile with the form that he was starting to gain. And without those four players, the bench looks a little weak and we're not quite sure how we're going to attack. So it's a tough one, but our Arsenal just have to kind of try to, put in some level of performance. Zach 10 says, does Arteta seem like a manager who really is trying to fix our central progression issue? I think there's our possible solutions we haven't tried out, like Havertz false niners and Zinchenko left 8. This just reminds me a lot of like 2020, 2021, where we ask these same questions. Why don't we attack through the middle? Why are we always going up the sides? Why do we have the horseshoe of death? Why do we pass so slow? Last season, we really had so much access through the middle, through Zinchenko and I think Jesus. This season, we're just going up the sides. I don't know if Arteta's doing it on purpose because he anticipates the other team flooding the midfield, but even Man City have teams flood the midfield and try to stop them from attacking through the middle, and they still gain access to central spaces. So I don't know if Arteta is just avoiding it altogether. I don't really understand it, but if we don't find those spaces, we're not going to score enough goals. So he either needs to figure it out, or I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. Mikey says, I'm chill that Tommy is playing. Tommy playing is a big boost, I think, because obviously he's a much better defender than Zinchenko. Shut the back door. Make sure that Jorginho isn't as exposed. Give us a little bit of height, and Tommy's in form. He's one of our players that are actually in form. I think like Tommy's in form, Saliba, who else? Gabrielle, Gabrielle might be in form too. Like Rice is in form. So you want to keep the guys that are playing well right now. On the pitch, Andrew says Newcastle smacked United away last game, and West Ham smacked us. We have to bounce back today to justify our exit from the League Cup. Yeah. But everybody's saying that it didn't matter because we need to focus on the Premier League. So hopefully we're focused on the Premier League. Triple A says we need to win today to put us back in winning form to start a run of a winning streak. Hendrik says Newcastle are a very physical team and Havertz can't cope with the English league. Not a good idea to start him. I'm being told that was our only choice. So there you go. Patrick says players need to step up. Otherwise, put them on the transfer list. They have to. They definitely have to step up. Yeah, they definitely have to step up. It's all about, like, I think earning the right to play. I think everybody's mentioned already how physical and energetic West or Newcastle are, and we haven't done well against. Well, we were really poor against Chelsea, who were energetic and physical on the day. Really poor against West Ham as well, that were energetic and physical on the day. That might be a little bit of our kryptonite, playing against teams that have legs and having Jorginho play the majority of those games. Jorginho has played most of the games where we played against teams where the midfield was more physical. So got to figure out a way to step up beyond it. Be better on the ball. Do something. Do something. You got to earn the right to play on the pitch. If you don't, you're going to get ran over, just like we have done in those past couple of games. Philip says we're going to play a low block double pivot like we did against City. Hopefully Martinelli will do the thing on the counter. That's what it kind of feels like, is we're trying to do the same thing. Hopefully it works. Playing like we are the away team, so play like the away team. Don't try to play our way per se. Don't sit on the halfway line and get picked off. We'll see how it goes. Like, they just showed Newcastle's injury list, as if that matters. Our injury list is more damaging despite it being shorter. But yeah, about 10 minutes until kickoff. You guys, this is going to lead you straight to player ratings. It's just going to redirect you straight over, so you guys don't have to like leave the stream or anything like that. And hopefully we're talking about a win. So if you guys are going to go ahead and like dip out and watch the game, you guys can come back for halftime, usually chat for a little bit before I go use the bathroom, so you guys can come in and out. But remember, this stream will take you straight to player ratings. Let's see. Mark Neighbor says Newcastle will be as worried about us as we are about them. This is not a foregone conclusion. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll be kind of worried about us. I mean, they'll be looking at the team and being like, thank God, there's no Jesus, there's no, Partey. And so that gives them a little bit of an edge, but they'll be playing in front of their fans. Let's see. We have the 5th most goals. They have the 2nd most goals. We have the fewest goals conceded. They have the 5th fewest goals conceded. We have the most clean sheets. They have the 3rd most clean sheets. So, they're probably a better attacking side. They definitely score loads of goals. And when they get going, they really get going. But defensively, we've been all right. We've been good. That's been the shining light of the see how we're wearing the Red Sox. But yeah, they're showing Declan Rice right now. He's been probably one of the main reasons why our defense has gotten so much better, just cleaning up messes and keeping us in games and things like that. So he has to have a big game, but I mean, to expect this guy to score all of our goals and assists, like somebody's got to step up. Somebody has got to step up. Martinelli, I think always gives you a lot of energy. So does, Saka as well when he's fit. So those are going to be like our main 3. They're showing Kai Havertz. He just has to have a big game. He just has to show up at some stage. It needs to be today. It needs to be today. It should have been yesterday. It should have been the day before. Just step up, man. Just try to play better than you have. Onan says the day AFC fans realize that Arteta lacks tactics for a big club at AFC and eventually move him out, that day will be the beginning of progress at the Emirates Stadium. Arteta has tactics. I just think he's also very like set on his one tactical thing. Like he's not like other managers. Like he's not like a Nagelsmann who changes his tactics and his formations often. He has a way of play, and he's very wedded to it. And so we tend to see the same things every week. And he believes that style of play will beat most teams. So I think Arteta does have tactics. They're just not that. He's not as flexible as other managers. Aman says, I trust our defense to handle them. It's just the creativity I'm worried about. Jay says, Saka needs to show up. Saka needs to show up. But again, like we're always talking about Saka needs to show up. Odegaard needs to show up. When is it ever going to be on the players that are out there that always just do nothing? I think Saka will do his due. He'll get a goal. He'll get an assist. He usually does, even when he's not playing well. Like saying Saka needs to step up is like, he kind of always has to carry the team anyway. So like, what are we saying? I need to see bigger performances from somebody like Havertz. I need to see Eddie show up at least. Like they are the ones that are the reason why Saka and Martinelli and Rice have to do so much more. So I'm less concerned about Saka needing to show up. Saka's giving goals away, and he's still one of our best performers, even though he's playing with one leg. When is Havertz going to have to step up? Saka delivers. Like Saka delivers. This is the most frustrating thing is people constantly expecting our better players to have to do multiple jobs every single game, score all the goals, get all the assists while people ghost and, are carried by them and are just passengers on the day. I need our other players to have big games at some stage. I need a big game from like a Havertz or, when Vieira starts, I need Vieira to have a big game every once in a while. Do you know what I mean? It's always on the same guys. And then when they have their normal bad game or poor run of form, we're ready to like kill Saka and kill Odegaard or kill Martinelli. How about the other people in the team step up? Aman says Eddie and Havertz needs to step up. Exactly. Step up. You guys are here too. You guys are have an Arsenal kit on. You guys are running around. You're getting paid by Arsenal. Do the business. Stop. It's not always on Saka and Martinelli because most of the time they're doubled, tripled up. So you're open, do something. That's all I'm saying. Here to there says Saka delivers. I agree. Ray Sinclair says Arteta isn't a good manager, guys. We have to move on. Arteta is a good coach. Like he is a good coach. Like I don't think it's that deep. He doesn't have the answers yet for what's going on with our attack and progression through the middle third. He doesn't have that, but he's definitely not as bad as people are making out to seem. He definitely needs to figure out shit, but you still have to give him credit for, us being at least where we are, Let's see. Sebastian says, after I watched the West Ham game, I realized that Havertz was our main threat. So hopefully he comes better and better. We need to trust what Arteta wants from their players. It's such a low bar for him to be our main threat in that game. But, hopefully he has a big game today. I don't know what else to say. Like, I need Havertz to do something, and we'll know when he does it because we won't have to see threads and rewatch and stuff. When he's going to have a good game because it's going to be so obvious because the player that's in there is going to show up, So he just needs to have a big game. Not even like a big game. I'm just saying I need to see some progress. That's it. Let's see. Aman says the players are coming out. Great. Let's see. Let's do this. People are asking for my prediction. My prediction was 2-2 yesterday, and that's what I'm sticking with. I think we will draw. Hopefully. That would be great. If we don't win, don't lose. Let's see. Philip says their fan looks so up for it. Come on, you guns. Of course their fans are up for it. They're at home and they've created somewhat of a fortress and they're playing with no pressure right now as well. Like I think people forget like Newcastle are just on like a dream ride right now. There's no pressure on them to do anything. They're ahead of schedule. They are playing good football, scoring loads of goals, or in Champions League. There's no pressure on them. So of course, like St. James was going to be bopping, you know. So I'm not surprised that they're up for it. You know, Arsenal need to show up and show out. Don't be scared. Let's see. Oh, I should have got a water before we started. I should have. Let's try not to give away spoilers today. I know it's like, you know, you want to sometimes, but it's easier for everybody when we don't have like so many spoilers. I know it's hard, but you know, usually I'm looking down at the comments and I see you guys say something has happened and then it takes away from it a little bit. So if we can refrain just a little bit from it, you know, that's all I'm saying. Let's see. Robert says still time for water. You know what? Actually, yeah, give me like 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna go get it. Cool. Uh-oh. Damn it. This is what I get for getting this. Damn it. Fixed. Alrighty. P-Way is asking, Odegaard is not playing today. He's not in the he's not there. He's not even in the squad. So which sucks, but maybe that hip injury is worse than we feared, but that makes it really strange that he would even play him against West Ham at all, you know? So let's see. I got a commercial going on, so I don't see all this like moment of silence and stuff like that. Just waiting on it to come back from commercial. No big deal. No biggie. What is going on? What is this commercial? Oh, it changed channels. Oh, idiot. I am so dumb. Where is it? It's not even on the right channel. Ah! I'm so dumb. Okay. I swear I'm not like this in real life. Like, I'm actually pretty smart. But today, not today. What channel is it on? I thought it was on USA. Is it on Peacock? Oh, yeah, it is. Idiot! You're so stupid. God, this wasn't on the right channel. Why do I do these? Just waiting on it to actually like turn on. Come on, Peacock. Don't be like this. Let me put it on my computer. Because I already know. The way it's messing up there. No game on. I hate Peacock with my life. television, but I got it on. I got it on. We haven't conceded. That's good. Woo! Rhea. Come on. Saliba. Don't give it away in our box. Come on. Let's be smart. Let's be smart. All right. So let me fix my. Oh, it's actually further ahead on my computer. It's interesting. Yeah, I'm so far behind on the computer or on the TV. Let's try to put a time up here. Yeah, and they do that thing where they celebrate like every little thing. They're like celebrate any little tackle or any little. It's so annoying, but I guess that's what happens when you're like excited. All right. I finally got my life together, guys. No big deal. I got my shit together. I'm finally here. All right, let's see. All right. Oh, it's crazy. Kai gets so many fouls. He might be like him and Eddie are probably like up there for the fouls that they've conceded. Um, it's like he can't pressure somebody without fouling them, which is crazy. What's going on? And Kedia, what are you doing? Don't be stupid. Come on. Get over there, Eddie. Come on. Win it. Good, Martinelli. Second ball, second ball. Good, Declan. Pass it. They be on Jorginho, man. So scary. It's like, just give it up. Just give it up. Let's see if we can like pass quickly at any stage. Like forward. Good job, Tommy. Double teaming Martinelli, like we said. So who's open then? If Martinelli is being double teamed and Saka is being double teamed, then somebody is open central. So figure it out. So lucky that that went out. We are so lucky that that went out. Oh, they called a foul. We're very lucky that that went out because that 1-2, they were free on that side. So let's wake up. But that's the thing about Tommy pinching in and being like all on the front line is they're gonna be open. So come on, Tommy. You got worked. Come on. Good, Tommy. Good, Raya. Good punch. Come on. Yeah, so far, I don't know what to make of it so far. I think it's kind of like what we knew it was gonna be. It's gonna be a little bit of us like trying to sit in, let's see. So we're just gonna let him get to the ball first. Good, Tommy. That wasn't Tommy, that was Declan. Foul, ref. Yeah, that was actually Declan that won the ball, but I'm not sure that Tommy should pass it to Nketiah there, but we got lucky that they fouled there. But, you know, they're on us. Like, obviously, we know that they're going to press and be really energetic. Okay, now Ben's hair is too dark. That color is not right. Too dark. Way too dark. Come on. Pass! Jorginho just is like slow, ponderous. Just pass it. Ooh, fuck. What are we doing? That's not a foul. We got the ball. Come on, Kai. Go. Do it. Come on. Oof. Come on, Saka. That was shit. Win it. Good, Gabrielle. Or Saliba. Okay, win the second ball. What are we doing? Relax. Relax. Win the second balls. Come on. Saliba won that. Get up. There's nothing wrong with him. Maybe he got hit in the head. Did he get hit in the head? Yeah, it was a clash. Hugo says it's a dog fight out there. Nick Nack says hi, Jess and everyone. Trini says, hey, Jess, can you put a clock on your feed so we know how to sync the games? This is where I'm at right now. Like, I know I'm pretty far behind because on my computer, it's a lot further ahead. It's actually at like 9:05, 9:04, but I'm not watching on there. I'm watching on here. But should be our ball. We did nothing wrong there. But when Saka crosses that ball in, he has to have a little bit more intention on that ball. I don't know who the hell he's crossing it to, but it didn't look like it was going to anybody. Come on. Come on. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, there's just no access to the central areas. None. And we just kind of stand on the ball. It's, that's good, Declan. Jorginho just passes it backwards. Good. Saka, go forward, you guys, sweetie. Yes, go. No, that's so shit from Kai. Come on. Good, Saliba. What are you calling? It's not even a foul. It's not even a foul. How was that a foul? Can somebody explain to me how that was a foul? Saliba just like literally beat him to the ball, and he went. But yeah, so that was good patient build up from us, but it got to Havertz and it broke down a little bit. You know, he just needs to be a little bit cleaner on the ball and not panic. You know, it just looks like he panics when he gets in those positions. Just relax. Like, you know, you can do it. You can do it. Okay, they're passing it into the channel. What do we do? Good. You know what I mean? Like Havertz, that wasn't bad. He just like the movement was fine. He just needs to like calm down for a second, put in the right pass. But he does look a lot more comfortable on the right. Come on, Eddie, just play the ball. Good, Saka. Hey, ref. That's good from Saka. Money guys. Oh, turn. See, if we had another midfielder there, that midfielder turns where Jorginho just passed it backwards. That's kind of like what we're missing is a midfielder that can turn. Maybe that's Thomas, you know, he receives it there. Does he drop the shoulder and go forward so that we can break the lines? Or that's really good from Eddie. Win it! Good. But right now, when Jorginho gets it, his only option is to go backwards because he cannot go forward. All this little pitter-pattering passing in the midfield between him and Tommy, some scary stuff, y'all. Scary stuff. Come on, Kai. Who are we crossing into? Good, Eddie. Just slow down. You're not beating him. Pass. I saw he looked like he was gonna try to juke him. No, bro, just pass. Like you're never beating him there. Oh, that's good defending from Newcastle on Saka. Now just don't foul. Good job, Tommy. Corner. Corner. Good work, Tommy. Tommy said, "Fuck you." He whacked it so hard. He's like, "I'm getting that." No, I love Tommy. I love Tommy. Everything he does is like, "Go on, Tommy. Get him." He's so funny. I hate the Red Sox. I hate them so much. So far, we've been all right. Hit it. Good. Give him up here, guys. Come on. No, that was Ben. Cosmic Moss says this will probably be a tight one. Kevy Kev says, this was Kevy Kev, I thought before. Kevy 13 is this different now, I thought. What's wrong with the Red Sox? It just, I don't know. I don't know. I just prefer the white, but I know why we don't wear the white today. I get it. Not for me though. Um, yeah. Hugo says Tommy is our left back inverted striker. Exactly. I don't think George. Let me stop. I'm gonna stop. Raya, and they got us. Come on. Yeah, they got us passing out from the back. But again, like every time we do those passes out from the back across the back line, once it gets to the furthest person, they always get it. They always are like on us. So whatever that is, we don't need to be doing it anymore. Trini, that's exactly what I was going to ask. Has Jorginho played one forward pass yet? No. Almost every single one of his passes have been backwards. And I get why he's trying to be safe, but I need him to find the pockets in front. That's the only way we're going to break him down. Come on, y'all. Quick. Fast. Oh. That pass back from Gabriel was not good, but he was under pressure. Yes! No! Oh, that's so unlucky. That's so unlucky. Get it. Come on, Martinelli. Oh, that's so unlucky. So fucking unlucky. It just needs a little more speed on it. Good. Now do it. Now get it. Good. It wasn't out. It wasn't out. It wasn't out. Come on. Find that ball in between the lines. Let's go. Havertz is in between the lines. There's no one there. Touch it. Fuck. Good, Eddie. Good. Get in the box. Get in the box. Oh, Eddie. Eddie, you did all the good work. You did all that good work for nothing. It's turning into a basketball game. Pass it, sweetie. Oh, should have passed it to the left. Hit it! Why is Saka not hitting it first time? Why are you not hitting that first time? You guys, where are our natural instincts in the box? First, Eddie dribbles around instead of just, oh. And then, why are you cutting it back on your left? Saka, go to goal. Where are our natural instincts in the box? Have we forgotten? Fuck. Shoot it. Fuck it. I don't even mind that, Saliba. Our forwards won't shoot, so you shoot. Our forwards do not shoot, so you shoot. How is it that our center back has more natural instincts than our forwards? I cannot believe Saka turned backwards on his left foot. I cannot believe he does not hit that on his right. First time. Declan thought he was fouled, I think. Declan's right. Declan's face made me die so much. Oh. Shit. Oh, fuck. Come on, Jorginho. Be fucking for real, man. Let's see. Trini says, Saliba playing a bit high. Aman says, I don't know what Saka was doing. C. Walter says, haha, I forgot how much you add to the game. Reginald says, go on tune from a Spurs fan. Hugo says, they're pulling Eddie down. World Boss says, "What channel are you watching the match on, Jess?" I'm watching on Peacock. Jay says it's crazy. We get the ball and always slow it down. Win the second ball. Go on, Rice. That was so good. Yes, go. Get the ball. Though, look at those natural instincts from Declan. He said, "You know what? I'm just gonna try to cross it. If it goes across, then it's a good cross. But if they block it, it goes out for a corner." You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. But our forge child, if I speak, these guys forgotten how to score goals or have their natural instincts. Oh, another short corner. Oh no. Like Eddie's gonna head into the back of the net from there. Just hit it into the mixer next time. Back post to Eddie. Why? Or let Gabrielle get it. You're never scoring. You're never scoring from there ever in your life. Unless you're wide the fuck open. So you gotta get it. Jorginho! Good, Rhea. Don't even fuck around. Hit it long. It's fine. Get them all the way back. Good. Good. I don't even mind that shit. I don't. If we had if we could just get Wenger to come in for like 2 weeks and coach Saka and Martinelli, remind them how to be forwards and just shoot, that would be great. Havertz, get up. Come on, bruv. Good job, Rice. You fouled again, Almiron. You fouled again, Almiron. Again. Almiron makes me die. He's so funny. Rice, so smart. He's like, I'm gonna go in front of you so you foul me. Good job. But yeah, we just need Arson to come in and just remind them how to be attackers. Why are they showing Jason Tyndall? They never show assistant coaches, only him. Oh, yeah. You know, we need to get like you know how like in like in American football you have like a defensive coach and an offensive coach. We need an offensive coach. Oh shit, that throwing scared the hell out of me. I was like, is he throwing it straight to them? Oh, Gabrielle, that's so shit. Good, Gabrielle. Hey, this is fucking foul, bastard. Good job, Gabrielle. But that was a bad pass, so Gabrielle needed to get that. You know. Woo! First 25 minutes have been interesting. Kai and Eddie going for the same ball, yet a Newcastle player comes out with it. Why is Ben White passing it to Saliba like that? It's like they want him to get it taken off of him. Come on now. Be smarter back there. Yes, Eddie, that was good. Come on. Attack. Get in the box. Yeah, like we're going into the battles, we're doing the duels. Defensively, we've been okay. But the one thing that really stands out to me is the lack of just like true attacking instinct from our attack. It's all very like we don't I prefer like not our left back and our DM to be our best attackers, you know. And that's kind of the issue that we have right now. You want your attackers to be the ones in those positions. Right now, Saka and Martinelli are creating for Jorginho and um, Tommy. So, but it's not that they're not playing well. Like I think Tommy and Rice are actually probably been our best players. It's I want to see Saka and Martinelli on the ends of moves, not the other way around. So our natural like attacking threat and like instincts seem a little bit off so far. Come on. Why is he wide open? Goal. Ooh, that was almost a goal. We did not defend that really well. Yeah, defensively, that's not good from us, but like Dan Burn beats Tommy there. Rice, oof, almost assists Callum Wilson there. How to defend that better. Got away with one. Got away with one. Yeah. I mean, we've been had most of the ball, most of the attacking emphasis and stuff like that. Yet Newcastle have had the best chance of the game so far with that one with Callum Wilson. Like again, like we need to make this whatever you want to call it um count. He's on you. Good. 30 minutes in. Yeah, those are my notes. My notes so far are for all Arsenal's decent play in the middle of the pitch, Newcastle have had the best chance, and we look toothless. So we need to figure out a way to get Martinelli and Saka on the ends of moves, not Tomiyasu and Jorginho, who I love those two players. I like them, but they're not our attackers. Get Saka involved, guys. Again! Give him a freaking card, ref! He's gonna get hurt! Give him a card, ref! This is where these fouls need to be counted. He's fouled Saka a couple of times already, and this one is just like blatant, just coming in like late. This should be a card. If that's Ben White, if that's Tommy, if that's Zinchenko, yellow card straight away. Dan Burn, I don't know what it is about this goofy guy, but it's like he never gets called for the bullshit. That's a yellow card. Like he's already fouled a couple of times. Damn. If he does one more and doesn't get called for it, don't make me fly to Newcastle. I arrive there tomorrow and shit. The game's already over. In fact, where's the headquarters of PGMOL? Where is it? Don't make me fly there. Great ball. Martinelli needs to beat his man there, but that's good defensive work from Kai. Good! Oh, unlucky! Martinelli, get back over there. That whole side is wide open. Nketiah playing like left back. I need to stop rubbing my face. I have makeup on. Here to there says, agreed, we have controlled the game, but every attack just predictably breaks down with Eddie and Kai. It's not just Eddie and Kai, I want to be fair. Good. Ben, what the fuck? Just pass it, babe. Come on. You got to just pass it there. Now you put us under pressure. Good. Ugh. Jorginho. Ben does a good job there, and instead of just passing it and being safe, he lost the ball. Dan Burn is just holding his back like a loser. You're hurt, go down. We should be attacking that guy. Good. Oof. Yeah. Good. Yeah. I didn't like that from Ben. I just felt as though just keep it simple. You did the hard thing. But yeah, I don't think every single move is broken down just with Kai and Eddie. What's going on with Declan? His foot is his shoe, his boot. They've broken down with Saka, they've broken down with Martinelli. In general, our attacking players have been like very careless with the ball, making the bad decisions. Our best attackers have been like Tommy and Rice. I still don't think we have a shot on goal, if I'm not mistaken. So again, it's just another game where it's the same old thing. Yeah, we have 7 shots, none on target. And I'll say this too, like, I don't think this attacking issue is solved just by putting in Jesus and Odegaard. I think it's a systematic issue, not just a personnel issue. Good, Kai. Touch it! Oh, Saka. Oh, Kai. He's getting a red. He's off, isn't he? Is Kai getting sent off? He goes. Now let's see if they're unwilling to manipulate the the game because it's a big game, or if they turn it into a red. Let's see. Because remember, against Man City, they were unwilling to give Kovacic a red for the first tackle or the second one. Oh, it's not that bad. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. He doesn't even really make that much contact. It's not even, it's just too forceful. It's nothing. It's just a yellow. But it's just a yellow. Stop complaining. It's just a yellow. It's just a yellow. Stop complaining. It's just a yellow. He didn't even hit him with the studs. He didn't even touch him with the studs. You get a yellow for complaining. He didn't even touch him with the studs. Like, it was just a forceful tackle. Now, again, Kai needs to be really careful because, like, this is the problem with him playing in midfield legitimately, is that he's not a good tackler. So everything looks like a forwards tackle. Lascelles, fuck off. Like, it's for these, like, oh, we're Geordies, we're so fucking hard. Like, for you guys to be like crying this much, like, come on. Get out. He didn't even touch him. He barely even touched him. It was just a forceful tackle, you dumbass. Yes, you too. Didn't even touch him with the studs. Grow up. Grow up. Yes, all of you guys are getting a yellow. You get a yellow. You get a yellow. You get a yellow. Every single one of them deserves a yellow. It's just a yellow card. Calm down. Like, relax. Stop crying. Didn't even touch you. He didn't even touch you. Trust me. If he had touched you, Kai would be off. Trust and believe. If he had touched you, he would have been off. Trust. All right, let's not get rattled. Tommy, I'm scared. Good. It's out. Good. Perfect. Come on. Kai playing 40 chess. Ahmad says Kai Havertz masterclass. He takes the yellow, but we get 4 in return. Yes. I love it. I love it. But really, though, he needs to be careful. Really, though, he needs to be careful. Come on, Kai. Oh, now Rice. Oh. I hate this. Woo! Grow up. All this rolling around. Get up. Get up, Bruno. He barely touched you. Again. Look at Feather's touch. Grow up. Rice, don't get. We need you. If you go off, that's it. Trini says he has to drive forward, but he's afraid to leave Jorginho alone if the play breaks down. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hear that. Get out. Good. Oh, God. Don't touch him. You can't. Woo! Lucky. That was lucky. Let's get our shit together. What is okay? Ben's just in no man's land. Just Ben needs to get his shit together. He has to get his shit together. Let's score a freaking goal. Is it mission impossible? Let's go. touches in the opposition box, only 7 for Arsenal. I know that Newcastle only have 5, but still, um, as an attacking force, we have been not forceful at all. And I would be surprised if we've touched the ball in zone 14 more than once. Jorginho, fuck. The way that we're attacking right now is not like it's not dangerous. Jorginho trying to pop it into the channels for guys that are like fully marked. No, that's not it. That's not the business. Come on now. I don't no. No, no. Get it. Get it. All the stretching. Good. Good, 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 good. But yeah, like it's just Jorginho doesn't need to come off. I'll be so real. If Jorginho needs to come off, I'm putting Kiwior in midfield. I don't give a fuck. I don't even care. I'm not bringing in Vieira. I'm not bringing in none of these dudes. I'm bringing in Kiwior and say, you know what? Play DM. Win the ball back. Give it to Rice. That's it. Nothing else. Oh, he's good to go. DJ, let's fucking have it, guy. I don't know why that killed me so much. It was just like the way that he got them to give like 3 yellows on the spot just off of 1. Come on, Kai. Oh, that's good work from Kai. That's really good work from Kai. See, that was creative from Kai. Right down the gut. He took it and he passed it to Nketiah. He won it. He touched it. He dribbled. He passed. Look at that. That was good from Kai. I like that shit. That was creative. And Nketiah just gets absolutely bodied. Um, get your asses over there. um, John says, Dark Arts Jess, they don't teach you that in the academy. Exactly. Good, it's wide. Fuck it. Um, Martin N says Kai has had an okay game so far. He's growing into it a little bit more. That little move that he had for Nketiah, that's all I want to like. When I say I want to see something promising, I want to see you win the ball, turn and go with it, put in a nice little dagger ball, try to create something because he's a creative player, Kai. Like he has it in there. It's there. I'm not saying I need a hat trick from you today. I just need to see signs of life. Today, I've seen some signs of life. I'm happy about that so far. I don't like what we're doing back here, Saliba. Good, Saliba, to pass it. Hurry! Hurry! Pass it! Hurry! I want a yellow for that. I want a yellow for yes, Tommy. Cross it. That was a yellow back there. I want it. How did he pass it in between Tommy's legs there? Fuck's sake. You better run that back. You better run that back. You better run that back. Oh, he barely touched him. Never mind. I overreacted. I overreacted. I overreacted. You know what? I don't care. It's the soccer mom in me. I couldn't tell if it was bad or not. It didn't look like he touched him. Or it looked like he barely touched him. Okay, they're beyond us now. Come on. Fuck me. Well, players don't get red cards against us, so, even if it was a red card challenge, we're not gonna get it. That's so brilliant, Rice. You're so good. You're so good. Come on, Martinelli! Martinelli, shoot! Oh my god! Shoot, for reals. I know you can hit it harder than that. Come on. That was a good move. A lucky Martin says, "Come on, Nelly." Seawalder says, "I don't want to watch another game without Jess destroying my speakers." Sorry. My bad. You guys know I'm not a good watcher. They're just fouling us and hitting us all in the face and stuff like that, and, like, nothing is happening. Bruno is a dirty player, this guy. Filthy bastard. Oh my god, ref! That is a red card! Ref! You are you guys for real? If any Arsenal player did that, he would be off. Why did he not get a red for that? Good. Good, Eddie. Good. 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 Somebody's getting sent off. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck off, Bruno. You should be off. You filthy bastard. You filthy bastard. You should be off. You're lucky you're still on the pitch, you dumb prick. Fuck off, loser. Look at that stupid prick. Why is he not off the pitch, ref? Why is he not off the pitch? Why is he not off the pitch? He's out of control. Rein him in. Put a muzzle on him. I am not even joking. I am not even joking. He should be off. Good, Saliba, because Raya was nowhere near that shit. This game is gonna kill me. I can already feel it. Because I do not understand why Bruno Guimaraes is still on the pitch. I do not understand. That's no foul. That's no foul. Okay, good. Fuck you, Bruno. You're so lucky you're still on the pitch. Filthy bastard. You filthy bastard. What have I just watched? I am in shock. What the fuck did I just watch? Not only did that filthy bastard elbow Jorginho in the face off the play where nobody was watching, but then he turned around, rolled the ball out, and kicked it hard at one of our players. He's out of control. He's out of his mind. Fuck you. Okay, so what happened in that half? Okay, so what happened in that half? Okay, so 0-0, and we've been okay. Like, we've been all right. I would say our defensive shape has been good. Excuse me. Saliba has been very good. He's been put in some very difficult situations by some of his teammates and has been able to wiggle his way out with no safety net behind him. Tamiyasu has been really good, I thought, going forward and going back. They are getting quite a few crosses off on that side, but Tamiyasu is doing the inverted role where he's not quite there. So you have to, I think that's a risk that Arteta is willing to take. But for the most part, Newcastle have been quiet. They had 2 chances. The Callum Wilson one where we fell asleep on the We didn't fall asleep. They worked it really well, and Callum Wilson probably could have scored that. And then the one where it kind of just like I don't know if that was Longstaff on the back stick or not. But beyond that, they haven't really had much. For all of our play and the good things that we've done in that half, we haven't had enough attack about us. We haven't had enough intention in the final third. I think our worst players in that half were our attackers. And it's not so much just about, I don't think, them just taking bad touches. It's just like they're not involved enough. I felt like Martinelli and Sacco were creating for the players that we don't want in the box. We don't want Jorginho doing like trying to dink the ball in. We don't want Tomiyasu on the end of moves. And that's something that's frustrated me over the last couple of games is that our left back and our DM are our most dangerous players in the attack. And our wingers are playing fullback and creating for less optimal options. And so it's the system, I think, and not so much the players, but the lack of instinct from some of our players in the final third. It's like when we're outside the box, we're going to shoot, but when we're inside the box, we want to cut it back and try to cross it in. If you guys don't get the ball and slam it in the back of the net, we know Saka when he's on form and Martinelli's on form, they're two of the best wingers in the league. But today they've seemed not as, on it. Maybe they just need more games. They haven't necessarily had the easiest because everybody around them consistently changes, whether it's except for Saka, like he has pretty much like a similar picture, but like no Odegaard today, no Jesus. It's different, it's different. And Eddie doesn't help at all. So it's an interesting one. It's the way that we attack doesn't allow for the players that you want to be in the box on the end of moves to be there. They tend to be creating for players that we don't want there. So, yeah, but Rice has been one of our better players. How many times are we going to have to say it? He does it every single game. So, he's been really good in that left 8 / like double pivot role and has been doing a lot getting forward into the final third. And his instinctiveness is something that I don't want coached out of him because a lot of our players have lost their just creativity. And like the normal thing to do when you get to the end line is to put in a dangerous pass because either it'll go out for a corner or it'll be a dangerous pass where they have to defend. Our players are doing this thing where they get to the end line and they cut back and they pass it back to Jorginho. Jorginho getting the ball and try to dink it in when all of the Newcastle players are back doesn't make sense. When they're running back towards their goal, that's a better opportunity than when you've passed it back and you allow the ball to be in front of them to defend. So the lack of instinctiveness from our players is worrying because you need your attackers just to do the attack. Like that's just what they need to do. So that is a worry. That being said, I think Kai had a pretty good half. I like the tackle that he made. Fuck you. Had riled them up and completely rattled them, and it was just a yellow card tackle. He didn't touch them. His studs didn't hit any of the players' shin, and as a result, they have completely lost their heads. They got 3 yellow cards themselves, and quite frankly, Bruno Guimaraes should have been sent off. I'm not sure who gets away with that. Dare I say, if it's Granit Xhaka, he's sent off. So it was an okay half. We need to figure out a way to attack that makes sense. Arteta needs to figure out how we can get Saka and Martinelli in the dangerous positions to finish off moves and not have our left back and our DM be our best attackers. Our left-hand side has been fine. Our right-hand side, not so much. But again, Kai Havertz was coming into it a little bit like he won that ball and flipped it through for Nketiah. Keep playing him, and Arteta needs to coach him into this player. Like, I just want to see signs of life and promise. Like that half was so much more promising than what I've seen over the last couple of weeks from Kai. So we'll see how it all works out, but somebody is definitely getting a penalty, or not a penalty, a red card. It's coming. It's coming. African Giant says, how on God's green earth is that not a pen on Bruno G? Maybe you mean a red card? I don't really know how you can just run up behind a player and elbow them in the face and not get a red card. That's always been a red card, but not today. Not today. Off the radar says Saka should have used his right. Yeah, he was in on goal. If he just takes a touch, like he could probably slot it in or at least make Nick Pope work. But by like to have all this space on to the right and to cut it back on your left with no pressure on it's like it was a very strange thing for him to do. Mark Neighbor says, I'm more than happy considering everybody was slating our team before the ball was even kicked. It's only been 45 minutes. Chosen One says, imagine if that was Jorginho elbowing him instead of the other way around. Newcastle fans would have been losing their minds, would have been bedlam. Exactly. Like the fact that he wasn't sent off, like, is crazy. Tulane says Eddie has been bullied. I'm not really surprised that Eddie hasn't been able to get any change out of Lascelles or Cher because when he plays against the bigger center backs away from home, he's just like a non-factor, so it is what it is. All you have to hope is like Eddie can work hard, maybe get on the end of something. But right now he's just kind of working hard, out there. And you really need a striker that's going to put them under pressure. It's really easy for them to just kind of mark Martinelli and Saka out of the game. And knowing Eddie is not going to do anything, then all you have to do is just, mark our left back, our left back coming in. And Tommy's playing great, but we just like our left back cannot be our best attacker or our most dangerous player, so I'm not really surprised. Martin N says we should sub Eddie out and put Trossard in. C. Walder says I'm actually happy with that half. Yo-Yo says if City had got their hands on Rice, we would be fighting to be second. BS Born says, oh, I can't read this. I'm sorry. I can't read this. Sorry. I wish I could translate it into English so I can put it up on the screen. I'm sorry. Kasim said the game has been cagey. Let's see. Kadwani says Arsenal controlled most of the game. Aman says decent half. We have controlled the game. Just need to be ruthless and attacked. I think this has kind of just been our story the entire season so far. Has been we're controlling most games, but we're finding it difficult to be dangerous in the final third. And so I don't think it's just a personnel issue. I think it's the way our system is set up. Our system is set up for our DM and our left back to get us up the pitch and be creative. And, you need to get Kai more involved. You need to get Saka and Martinelli in dangerous positions. That's what Arteta needs to figure out. Because even if you switch Jesus and, put Thomas Partey in there, it's still, for me, I think is more systematic than anything else. Mr. Mad Hatter says Saka's not taking that shot first time on his right leg is worrying. Ben says just give Declan the captain's armband already. Yo-Yo says was genuine cowardice from the officials to ignore Bruno G's assault on Georgie. This whole thing of we don't want to skew the spectacle by not giving away like clear red cards to certain players and in the games where Arsenal are playing it's getting old very fast because they've never thought that way in previous seasons where Arsenal were playing against bigger teams and it was a big six clash and they were willing to give us red cards in the first half for literally nothing. So it's never been a rule before, and it's something that they're applying now, that we should have played against 10 men against City, and we should be playing against 10 men now against Newcastle. And it's getting tiresome because I know that one of our players is going to do something in the first half against a big side, and they're going to get sent off because it doesn't apply across the board. It's more, I think, that's going to give Arsenal some sort of advantage. So yeah, Jordan says our forwards need to wake up for real. Do you guys think it's more the forwards are not doing their job and they're not, in form, or is it the way that the system is set up? Anton Dunn says we need a quality Saka backup, to be honest. I think we need more attackers, more like just instinctive attackers, but I also think Saka and Martinelli can be quite instinctive. The reason why they're not instinctive is because of the way that the system is set up, because I think Arteta's telling them when you get the ball on the end line, instead of just crossing it in for a dangerous opportunity, cut it back to Jorginho, and then Jorginho will try to get it back to you while you're marked. You want the Newcastle players having to defend facing their goal, running back toward it, then seeing things come to them. Because if Jorginho is passing it this way, towards them, they can see it all the way. But if Saka has it on the end line and Newcastle players are running back, that gives the opportunity for you to get a corner, opportunity for them to get own goals, bad clearance, anything. And so The way that we attack is just not conducive to scoring good goals, and to me, that's a systematic issue than a player issue, to me, but, there you go. Dane says, "Hey, Jess, we need Trossard and Vieira on the pitch." I mean, I would take Eddie out and put Trossard in. Um, that's what I would do to get us some more creativity up there. People will tell me that Eddie's running around and working hard, but Trossard can run around for 45 minutes, and I would just imagine if one chance fell to Trossard's foot, he would put it in the back of the net. Vieira, not so much. I think Kai has earned the opportunity to play in the second half, but he just has to be very smart because he's already gotten the yellow. Um, but yeah, like Kai deserves to continue in this game. I just hope he's really smart. That's it, because somebody's getting sent off. So yeah, Boy says, "I would keep Nketiah on. His hold-up play has been decent." Ham says, "Eddie has made some good runs. Wingers aren't finding him. Martinelli should have put a cross in 6 yard to the 6 yard for him." Fair enough. Mr. Adams says, "We need a time machine. Today's talent pool is weaker or limited. Bring in Alexis or Van Persie back." It's a long time ago. Here to there says, "Spot on, Jess. Again, the tactics just don't make sense. To me, it's just more of that than anything else." But that's just my thought. And Samuel says, "Is it just me or does Havertz look more comfortable on the right?" Yeah, he does. You guys, I need to use the bathroom. I'll be back for the second half. Make sure you guys stick around for the rest of the watch along. And if you guys are gonna come back, keep this up on your browser because this is going to lead you straight. It's going to redirect you straight to player ratings. So, yep. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. I am back. Is Dan Burnoff? Is that the change that we're seeing here? Maybe. Um, he was like really holding his back during that half. So maybe he's injured. Fuck him no. Like for real. Um, but yeah, maybe his back was really hurting him in that first half. So looks like maybe they're bringing on Livermento or something like that. Um, Livermento is a good player, but I need to see Saka cook someone. I knew he'd struggle against Dan Burn. Dan Burn is always going to have his number just because he's a bigger, more center back. Livermento is interesting, so let's see if Saka can get beyond him, if that's who's actually coming in for Dan Burn. Yeah, it is. I just wanted to be over. I be wanting the game to be over so bad. Watching Arsenal play is so hard. All right, and we're off. I just wanted to be over. All right. Okay, so I saw one of you guys say it, but you're right. Trippier has moved to the left. That makes sense so that they can keep Saka quiet and then Livermento on the right. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Um, so let's see how that pans out for everyone. Arsenal need to look like they can score a goal. That's big. Oh shit, Tommy. No. Come on, guys. Relax. Eddie. Mm. He just gets owned in games like this. That's just all it really is. He gets owned and he gets so lost in the conversation. He's never really involved. He can't hold the ball up. Come on, Kai, do something. Do the right thing, sweetie. Find it. No, so slow. Come on. They don't want to pass it to Eddie, and I don't really blame them. Everybody's converging on Saka. What kind of attacking are we doing? Come on, you guys. Attack with some sort of emphasis. Good. Corner. Um, yeah. Um, let's see. Yeah, that's just good defending by Livermento. He didn't allow Martinelli to get separation. And when he tried to do his little burst, he made a really good tackle. So Livermento is not going to make it that much easier on us. But it's whatever. I'm more concerned about the way our attacks are. Again, Eddie. Okay, good. We got the foul that time because I was like, if you just got bodied off the ball like that, come on, Saka. You got to beat someone. I don't think you've done anything today, really. Not enough. Oof, bad pass. Pass it forward, Jorginho. Pass it forward. You can do it. You can do it. You're in, Ben. You all right, Declan? Shit. That was okay. Kai let the ball go through. Ben put in a cross. It was all right. That was okay. Again, as long as you're way out there, it's gonna be so easy. You have to get those, in between where like the edges of the 18 and the 6 are. That's where you have to get to. You didn't get fouled, but go! Did you see him over there on the side? Did you see that? Get off Gabrielle. Shit. Sick of his ass. Come on, Wilson. Shit. Good pass. Ben, terrible cross. Um, get over there, Tommy. Get over there, Tommy. Good. Good, Kai. No more tackles, Kai. Be really careful. Be really careful. Are they gonna come back and give him a red for that? Was that Kai? But yeah, was not I'm not a fan of the way that we're attacking right now. I just don't think we get into dangerous enough areas. Not even that bad of a tackle, but Arteta needs to tell him to calm down, Havertz, because he's gonna get sent off. He's gonna get sent off. It's just a foul, but on the next one, he'll probably be sent off. Um, so we just, yeah, need to just be careful there. Um, when he's starting to wake up a little bit, if the rest of our attack would wake up, that'd be great. Saka and Martinelli, it's not all of their fault, but they have been poor, or uninvolved. I don't want to say they were poor. They've been ineffective. Is that okay to say? Tell me if you guys agree with me that they've been ineffective so far. Eddie coming from an offside position or something. Ooh, Eddie. They're definitely like in full floppery mode, Newcastle. That's for sure. They're like, we are not staying on our feet ever. Good, Raya. Now relax. Oh shit. Good job, you. I don't even mind that from Declan. Fuck it. Martinelli should be running. Is he okay? If I speak. If I speak. Even though like that wasn't the best pass from Rice into Martinelli's path, I'm gonna need Martinelli to work a little bit harder to get to that ball. You know, I'm gonna need him to work a little bit harder. He's not having the best game. I need you to work a little bit. It's a really good ball from Guimaraes, I think that is. Oof, 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 oof. Don't touch him. He's gonna dive. Good. Good, Eddie. Hey! That was good from Eddie. The Cosmic Mon says, without Eddie being more involved in build-up, it's tough on Saka and Nelly. We just don't have enough in attack. Like when you have Rice is doing so well. That's the thing. It's hard to it's not really about Rice not being good enough or anything like that because we know he's good enough, but idealistically you'd want probably Xhaka in that position. Somebody that can find those passes into Martinelli. Martinelli hasn't got a single one of those passes into the channel that Xhaka used to do on a regular basis. There's just yeah, we're trying to replicate it with Rice, but Rice is more of like, I'm gonna take the ball and I'm gonna run with it. Um, so it's difficult. It's difficult. And we have nobody in central spaces that can receive the ball under pressure. Good, Tommy. That is great from Ben White. That is excellent work from Ben White. Because we were cooked there for a second. But all that like, did y'all see Eddie whiff that ball? Come on, man. It all started from that. But Saliba was being held. They got through. Ben, great defending. We didn't panic, which is good. So that's fine. But I would almost like be interested in seeing like Saka or Martinelli come central to receive the ball because this just standing on the sidelines waiting for these square balls is just not doing anything. It's not moving the Newcastle players around at all. They're so wide and so disconnected from everything that like anything. I'd almost want to see them receive it in central areas, but we're doing this weird crossfield ball shit. Like, that's not how Saka wants to receive it. Like, Gabriel puts that, um Gabriel puts that poor ball into Saka. Saka doesn't want it there. Stop trying to hit it on the like that. If they don't stop trying to hit it on these volleys, child, they do not have that. Come on now. But yeah, it's just I don't know how to describe it. It's just Gabriel puts it into Saka there. He's marked. Why are you putting it into him like that? It's something that we're practicing. It's something that Arteta's telling them to do, but it's not working. Good. Eddie, pass it! Eddie, pass it to Martinelli quickly. You're never gonna beat them like that. Fuck sake. Just pass it. He was wide the fuck open. It's like a split second where the door closes. You have to pass it fast. He just holds on to it just a little too long, and it's just like the door closes. Again, Saka doesn't want the ball there. You're passing it straight into Trippier's hand. Like our attack is not doing the business for me. Like Gabrielle is fouling Callum Wilson too, and then Wilson reacts back. Like, what are we doing? I just want to see people make decent decisions in the final third. Like everything we do is keeping the ball in front of Newcastle. As long as the ball is in front of them, they'll always be able to anticipate and get in good spaces to defend us. Make them run backwards. Like, you know, when he gets it, Eddie, just pass it through to Martinelli first time. Stop touching it extra. Like, oh, it's so fucking annoying. It gets on my nerves every time. Boy says if we didn't have Saliba, we would have already been hit on the break by now. Saliba gone to a new level today. Mark Neighbor says we have to remember Eddie is a poacher, a fox in the box. He is not going to look for an outlet. He's going for goals solely. Well, at least do that well. Shit. Handball. Come on, Saka. Oh, he didn't call that. Trini says I would put Martinelli up front, stretch Newcastle. Arteta will never put Martinelli up front. He did it once. It wasn't perfect. He never did it again. That's how it works. I think did Saka come from an offside position? No? Good. All right. Well, let's try to pass fast. Let's see if we can do anything quickly. As long as it's in front of Newcastle, we're not breaking them down, y'all. Get it out from you in between your feet, Jorginho. Hey, come on. They're fouling us. Good job, Gabrielle. Good, Martinelli. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. You have to stick your toe out. Come on now. Now somebody make a run. Somebody make a run. Oh my god, it's so slow. Our attack is so good. Fast, quick, do something fast. Come on. Saka, make your decision. Make your decision. Our attack. I just will never understand what I just saw from Ben White there. You're under no pressure. All you have to do is put in a decent cross and you kick it back for a goal kick. Why? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. Is that not a foul? Come on, you're making him make mistakes. Come on. Saka, do something. And we're passing back and sideways. Eddie, what are you doing? Get up. This is just too slow. Everything is in front of them. It's easy for them to defend. Somebody has to be brave enough to pass the ball in between the lines, receive it. Good. Hit it first time. Watch out the back post. You on. Get to the back post. Why don't we have anybody at the back post? Why don't we have anyone at the back post? Where is Saka? Where is Eddie? What the fuck? Get to the back. Get to the back stick. I'm so angry. DJ Pollard says Eddie injured. Mark Neighbor says that nudge shove from Bruno, unreal. I mean, once you get away with what he did, he feels emboldened to do whatever. He knows he's not going to get called for anything. Willock coming on now. The script, is it scripting? Boy says Havertz has an attitude to switch for this game. Looks like he actually wants it. Maybe because he's playing in a position that suits him a little bit more, maybe on the right-hand side. He does look a little bit more alive, but everybody else is asleep. It's like one person is switched on, the other person is switched off. Like, I just need somebody on that back stick running in. Like, why are we waiting so far out? What do we think is gonna happen? Good, Kai. Samuel says Bruno is literally getting away with murder. Is it out? That's so poor. That is so poor. Oh, well. That was so poor. Everybody switched off because they thought the ball went out. You guys, you still have to play if the ball you think it goes out of bounds. You still have to play if you think the ball goes out of bounds. Like, you guys switched off. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on, Arsenal. And look at Gabrielle. The whiff, that's where it starts. Is it out? Are we sure? Oh, it's out. It's out. You can see green grass. It's out. It's green grass. I saw the balls out of well, you have to look at it from up above. You have to look at it from up above. So looks like it's out, but either way, like that's just so poor from us. Can somebody explain to me why they think that's on Rhea when the entire team falls out of oh, they're looking for a possible foul now. So they think they think it was in. So it's gonna be a goal. It's gonna stand because now they're looking at whether or not they think it was a foul, so it's gonna stand. Um, Arsenal falling asleep on that is the only reason why that's a goal. 1-0. How can anybody look at that? Even if Raya doesn't do well on the cross, how can anybody look at that and not think that Arsenal are just stupid for, um, for not keep playing, you know? It's not gonna be disallowed. We already know. It does look like a foul on Joe Linton, on Gabrielle, but they'll never call that back for us. They're looking for a possible offside too, so it's like they've looked for. So they determined the ball was in, they determined that it wasn't a foul, and then they determined that they just looked at the offside, so I don't even. Why is it taking so long? Either way, Arsenal fell asleep. That's why they scored that goal. If it was at a, like, eh, goal given. Yeah, well, anyways, Arsenal, you can't just fall asleep, that ball was in, and everybody was sitting there going, "It's out, it's out, it's out." To me, that's the biggest issue more than anything, but so sad. All that all that all that hard ass work, and look at that. Stop falling asleep and asking for calls. So, it wasn't out. Like, it wasn't out. They checked it. So it wasn't out. We didn't get fouled. It wasn't offside. How about you stay awake? How about you stay awake and stop giving up silly ass goals? Like, come on. You guys, the ball was not in or out. Like, come on. Like, if it was out, they would have called it just like they did against Brighton or against Man United. So he didn't call the foul, but he's calling them rolling around on the ground like this. Okay. Um, let's see. No, but if it was out, they would have said that the ball was out, so it wasn't out. Like, it was still in. Arsenal fell asleep. So, I don't know what, Nat G says, "What about the push in the back?" The thing is it's all about. All I saw was that I saw Saliba, Jorginho, everybody fall asleep 'cause they thought it was out, and then Gordon makes a random run inside while everybody else is complaining that it's out. For me, like, it has to be a clear and obvious error, so they didn't think that the foul was a clear and obvious error. So, the biggest error that Arsenal made was deciding that they thought it was out, and they stopped defending. Gordon had a free run in there, so, as much as people wanna blame Raya for it, maybe he should do better. The team fell asleep, and Gordon made a clear run straight to Raya, and nobody else was there. So, Arsenal need to wake up and stop giving away simple goals because they're trying to get the referee to do something. If it was out, they would have called it out. Keep playing. You played to the whistle. It's so simple. I mean, we did so well just to give it all away. The ball was not out. The ball was not out. It was not out. We have to stop this nonsense of, like, feeling like the referees did something against us. Had it have been out, they would have called it back just like they called that goal back for, Man United scored against Brighton. They looked at it. It was in still. So, Arsenal shouldn't have fallen asleep. There's nothing worse than watching a team fall asleep and not be switched on because they're waiting for the referee to make a call for them, and we do it all the time. That's not the first time I've seen us be like, "Oh my god, it was offside. Oh my god, it's a foul. Why are we not getting the call?" And then they just go and score. And guess what? We didn't look like scoring either. So, okay. Unless I see, like, a clear picture with us over that to see that it was out, I don't believe it was out, and I just don't think Arsenal should switch off anyway. They switched off. They just Saliba was standing there with his arm up. We have to grow up and stop asking the referee to do stuff for us. It's ridiculous. But we didn't even look like scoring before this, so and all like I haven't seen Saka do anything. He hasn't turned and went at his man, nothing. We were playing all right before that. Let's see. Crass Bandicoot says we need Trussard. Anthony says the crybaby culture in this team is the biggest flaw. Endless flopping, stupid fouls, and complaining. Dak official says push in the back with two hands. It has to be clear and obvious. I'll name this account later. Says Raya was shocking on the cross. We have to desperate to attempt to protect him. Fine, it was his fault. Blame it on Raya. It's 100% his fault. And nobody switched off. And it's not the fact that everybody just decided not to defend anymore. So everybody always wants to blame it on something that it's not it. Like Arsenal have a weak mentality. That's literally what it is. Stop switching off because you're asking the ref for fouls and shit. Mikey says the crowd and Jess believe it's a goal. I understand the crowd, not you, Jess. The reason why I don't think it was out is because if it was, they would have called it back. Like they looked at the angles. So like I don't want to act like we're fucking getting done here. So Mark says 12 shots at goal, 1 on target says a lot about where we are. No cutting edge up top. Let's see. C. Walter says White off. White didn't have a good game. David says thinking Arteta has created this problem in goal, dented Ramsdale when we didn't need replacing. How is he better than Raya working out? Did you not watch Ramsdale against West Ham? He was not good. So if you think that goal was about Raya, then we just have a completely different vision of the game. Like Gordon is wide open. Like I don't really understand how people don't see that the entire team switched off and Gordon had like a free run in the box. So, whatever. Even if it is his fault, whatever. Like whatever. It's all on Raya. And if Ramsdale had been in, we wouldn't have conceded that goal. Whatever. That's a goal kick. Come on. Let's see. Ruth says we've been robbed again by VAR. I don't know. I want to see an actual picture of it where it's over it so we can actually see the line. Like, I don't know. C. Wilder says stop falling for the narrative. Here to there says no Trossard. This is a mockery. It's a mockery. That was on Raya, but Ramsdale's confidence is also shot. We have 2 nervous goalkeepers now. Fair enough. It's just on Raya, so nobody fell asleep back there, and everybody was clued in. If you guys rewatch it, you'll see that Saliba and Jorginho, why everybody was totally asleep on that, and Gordon had a free run. And so even if Raya should have done better, we shouldn't have switched off, asking the referee to call it out when it wasn't out. So fair enough. Everybody wants it to be on one thing. And because everybody is mad because Ramsdale was terrible against West Ham, they want it to be on Raya. There's so many different issues there beyond just Raya. And Ramsdale wasn't the only issue against West Ham, but we've decided that every single game is about either Ramsdale or Raya, nothing in between. Raya is the number 1 goalkeeper. The faster you guys get over it, the better. Ramsdale's going to leave the club, move on from it. Ramsdale didn't do anything against West Ham to make it seem like he should have been out there. So just move on from it. You can blame Raya all you want. I saw like more than one issue in that whole thing. This whole thing is not about Ramsdale Raya. Let's see. Iman says, why did the whole team just stop, play to the whistle? No, don't play to the whistle. It's just Raya and that's it. Like people just want it to be just one narrative all the time. It's always agenda. It wasn't all on Ramsdale against West Ham and it's not all on Raya today. How do we just let every single ball go out? We don't look like scoring. Anyways, let's see. C. Wilder says Trossard on. Aman says, why did the whole team stop? Johnny J. Wick says, the thing is, just the whole Ramsdale riot issue was unnecessary. Why are you discussing the goalie when it's much more about everything else? I just said that. Like, I'm just the main one saying that. Like, I'm not the one making it Raya Ramsdale. I'm not the one doing that. Like, I've moved on from it. Raya's the number one. Everybody switched off. It's for me, it's people expected Ramsdale to do better against West Ham. He didn't. So they want to make this about Raya. If you blame that entire thing on Raya, you weren't watching. You just weren't watching. He may have needed to do better, but like everybody switched off. So it's not just on him. It's such a boring thing now. Why can't we score a goal? Well, damn, we didn't even get a corner out of that. Havertz has actually been good today. And he was fouled there. Havertz has actually been good, but I'll be so real. I haven't seen anything from Martinelli and Saka. Nothing. And it's just every game there's one attacker that's doing okay, and the rest of them are just like non-existent. They need to force a goal somehow. Why he subbed on Zinchenko, I'll never understand. It makes no sense. Why is he your only play? So weird. Dylan says they gave all the players new contracts and they'll be playing crap this season. Boy says Havertz and Saka both going for Martinelli's ball. Of them calls for it. So weird. Like we don't have anything going on attack wise. Why he brought in Zinchenko is such a weird choice. Like you think, I don't know, but his whole thing is like, okay, we need to attack. Put on Zinchenko. What is wrong? What? There's nothing wrong with him. He's just taking time off the clock. Um, let's see. Mark says Jorginho and Eddie coming off. C. Wilder says Christ Vieira on. P. Trim says we look unlethal in the final third, missing Jesus. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna help, but it can't just be we don't want to like we want to keep it tight, have Jorginho. We want to attack, put Vier or put Zinchenko. Seems like if we want to attack, his option is Zinchenko. If he wants to keep it tight, then he's like, okay, just put Jorginho and Tommy. Like he has to figure out a way to create chances that don't involve Zinchenko. Um, it's crazy. Kurt says it's hard when the officials are against you. I don't know if I feel like they're 100% against us. I think we should have been playing against 10 men. I think that for sure. I think Bruno Guimaraes should have been sent off. But unless I saw like a clear picture of that ball out from above, it's hard for me to like no think for sure that it was out. The the two hands in the back, you know, I don't know. I just think we should have done better. I don't think we should have switched off. Great ball. Oh, good job, Havertz. Havertz is the only shining light today. That's so sad. And see how he just put in a dangerous ball and they had to defend it because they were facing towards their goal? See how he didn't touch it like and go backwards? Like Martinelli and Saka have gotten that same pass a couple of times and just come cut back and try to go backwards. The natural instinct for this team to attack is just dissipated. We have no ability to attack. It's so crazy. It's nuts how we don't know how to attack anymore. Let's see. I think we're yeah, okay. Nobody attacking the ball. Another thing that annoys me is that I feel like instead of attacking the ball, we try to show the ref that we're being fouled. Just go towards the ball. Go towards the ball. I'd rather you try to win the ball than try to be like, "Oh, I'm being held." That's just try to get the ball. Oh shit. Come on, you guys. Oh my god. Martinelli's having an awful game. I'll be so real. Great cross. Somebody attack the ball. What is you guys, what's Saka doing? You guys, can you explain to me why Saka is not shooting or crossing it early? Can somebody explain that to me? Somebody please explain to me why he's not attacking. Like the one little nugget I'm gonna take from this Martinelli offside. The one little nugget I'm gonna take from this game is Havertz is awake. Let's see. Let's see. Mark says, I think the issue is yes, the defense switched off, but then don't matter who it is. The keeper needs to claim the ball. He is the last line. If defense not up to scratch, the keeper needs to step up. Fair enough. I think that's the best way to put it. Is that it's not just all on Raya, but he should do better there. Um, I think the constant avoidance of like the full picture becomes annoying. And it's just like everybody blame Ramsdale for West Ham. I didn't really understand that either because it wasn't all on him. It just wasn't. But they blamed it all on him. And then now everybody's blaming everything on Raya. Like it's just not that simple. Either way, um, Havertz is playing well. That's the only nugget I think I'm going to be able to take from this game. Because I mean, we're losing. I need to see more. Martinelli going backwards. They're never gonna get the like, crossing it to Vieira at the back post with against Newcastle is just never gonna work. It's never gonna work. Here to there says, "The goal was a comedy of errors. Besides that, our defense has played well." That's kinda how I feel about it. It was a comedy of errors. It just wasn't one thing, but, you know, agendas are gonna agend. That's how it goes. Um Let's try to score a goal, you guys. I know it's really hard and, like, almost impossible, but oh, Tommy, that's so shit. Look at the body language. It's so bad. Like, some of our players, the body language in the entire game has been not up to scratch. Like and you know what? I'm still not sure. I think that that's a foul on Gabriel. I think he should just I don't know. I don't know. But that's also the danger of, like, a short goalkeeper too. Raya's really short, and that ball a taller goalkeeper maybe does get to that. So, yeah. Yeah. I see where people are saying that he should do better. I just don't think it's just all that. Um, there's so many things that went wrong. That's a good ball from Zinchenko. Finally, a forward pass. Finally a forward pass. We have about 5 minutes to try to, like, do something, but we have a problem with attack. It's so obvious. Oof, I thought Trossard slipped. Good ball. You put a ball into a dangerous area for once. Yeah, he put the ball in a dangerous area, which was nice to see somebody actually understand that attacking dangerous areas is important. Martinelli, you're never gonna get that. Let's see. Let's see. Matt G says we've had one shot on target in 90 minutes. Look, I'll say this one thing too, is like when you defend well for the entire game, but you don't get anything from it and your attack doesn't attack and you don't score goals, you leave yourself susceptible to making one mistake and that's it. You know, so we we just had way too much of the ball and way too much positive, like we had a lot of good things in the first half, but it didn't result, like it didn't become anything. Um, and so that's just, what it is. Philip says it's as clear as day that White didn't close down Gordon. It's his job to do so. And he wasn't at fault by far for the goal. Um, did he call a foul finally on Bruno Guimaraes? Give him a card? Came a little bit late. Lanesra says the only narrative here is that VAR failed Arsenal yet again. The ball was out. There's a clear foul. Hazard is having a stellar game despite being on a yellow. We don't deserve to lose this game, meaning Havertz, I think. John Donut says, come on, Arsenal score. Steve Walder says, Bruno is a dickhead. Let's see. Boy says, Martinelli looks very frustrated. He hasn't been able to get into the game at all. Yeah, I think we're going to have like a long conversation of, um, you know, are Martinelli and Saka just not doing enough? Or is it they're not getting the ball enough? Or what is it? Because they just haven't been in it. And we don't play well when they're not involved. They're our wingers. Martinelli, please, for the love of God, can you stop giving away fouls? It's getting ridiculous. We have only like a couple more minutes. Martinelli is ridiculous. Um, Mark says 65 million for Havertz. Did Arteta get Stevie Wonder to scout him? It's funny because again, I think people have pre-written anytime we lose or we don't play well, they have like these pre-written narratives. Havertz was not the problem today at all. And, our defense actually defended well for the majority of the game. We were so toothless. Like, we're so toothless. I think that's more the story than anything. And Havertz has probably been one of our better performers today. So, yeah, you know, but it's gonna be blamed on Havertz somehow. Havertz is gonna be the main culprit. We have to watch with our eyes and stop watching with the narratives. That's a really good ball from Havertz. Oh, nice try. Arsenal just looks so out of whack when it comes to our defending. We just are not our defending, our attacking. Mark says 8 minutes of injury time. I don't think we're gonna have that spark again, like scoring in the final minutes. Like I think we've used that up already this season. We got it against Fulham, we had it against Chelsea, we had it against Man United. We've already had that sparkle of scoring at the end of games. I don't think we're gonna get it again in this game. We just don't look like doing anything. Move. Martinelli, come on now. All right, let's see if we can do our little magic. I just don't see it happening this time. We just don't look. I'm not loving our energy and haven't loved anything about what we've done today from an attacking sense. We just don't look like we believe we can score a goal. And Saka and Martinelli have been really poor today, or uninvolved or ineffective. However you want to spin it, they've been that, So there you go. People are showing me screenshots saying that it was out. The ball. Don't lose it. Good, Rice. Good, it's our ball. That's clearly our ball. It's clearly our ball. What just happened? No, Arteta, you're cooked today. That's Arsenal ball. What's going on? I don't really understand what's going on. How did we lose the ball there? Was it a bad throw? I didn't really get that. Oh, he is off. Okay, come on, get the ball, bastards. Let's go. The whole body language and everything has been so poor today, you guys. I'm so disappointed. Mm, Should be a corner. Doesn't matter. We don't score off of corners. If you guys are like, why is she looking down? I'm looking down because I need to set up the stream. So I am paying attention. One eye on the game, one eye on this. Yeah. Try to score, you guys. I know it's like next to impossible, but you gotta try. Oh shit, I made a mistake. Nobody even there. No one even there. There's no one even there. There's no one even there. There's no one even there. We need to score, and there's no one even there. So crazy. It's so insane. Good job, Rice. Our best player again. We're our best player again. So bad. It's so bad. He has to do everything every single time. Zach has been horrendous today. I don't even if I speak. He has been so bad today. What's happened to our attack? It's just gone, disappeared. Thin air. Martinelli. Good. Should be a foul. Good job. Martinelli, that's an awful cross. Sorry. It's like I don't even think they really believe that they can win the game. You can't lose it there. Good. Be another corner. Come on, you guys, try to score a goal. No, I'm so disappointed. I can't believe it. You got to clear the first man. You got to clear the first man. So bad. Oh, urgency. You have to score. Try. Come on, you guys. Terrible pass from Vieira. I'm not even mad at Rice for bitching at him because that's an awful pass. Anyways, you guys remember this will lead you straight to the player ratings, which I'm sure will be very interesting. All right, that's it. Game over. First loss of the season. All right, you guys, I'm going to end the stream and I'll see you guys over at player ratings. Bye, y'all.